position. But once again, with these Azir comps that Harmolife Esports put together, I don't necessarily see a lot of damage here unless they can really get on top of their opposition. This series, right now, they haven't won their first. Let's do it.
Trying to take turrets off the map, snowball the game. This time it's more about subtle objective setup. It's going to be a lot about team fights. It's going to be about the Azir engages, when Zeka goes in, and how much damage he can output in team fights. Because when this Corki Ashe gets to the late game...
From the Harmolife Esports jungler, but Canyon's still going to be able to start off this dragon. It looks like there's not going to be too much response.
Early objectives going. Now Peanut, thanks to the prior they have on top side, is going to be able to...
Peanut, he's coming over. They're looking for an angle. Are they going to be able to find the snare? They do, but the root caller going to come in after the flash. Keen will be alive for now, but that's a big summoner. When is Harmolife Esports looking to fight? When is...
Yeah, it actually is a little tough. I think you are just situations like this where you can get a man advantage and use the long range engage that you have available.
Not a lot of damage until Zeka gets here. He is finally going to come down. Bellow's breath is fantastic. Even gets the train on in, but Keen is still going to die. And that is first blood going over to Zeka, exactly where they wanted the money.
Yeah, no, you asked where they're going to fight.
The right call.
Yep, you can see that Peanut and Delight were just shadowing here as they were trying to take this bottom outer turret, but not actually going to draw Keen's attention just yet. He decides to give up on that. Doesn't want to take the risk because they're going to trade dragons 1-for-1 and trade turrets 1-for-1. First turret blood going over to Gen.G though.
This Herald, but there's the TP.
Yeah, it looks like Harmolife Esports, they've decided that now is when they want to start fighting. Decent buffer on the slice there from Doran as the Dominus does come on through. Hands going down extraordinarily low, but so's the Crocodile, and he's going to fall first. The train drives through, but Canyon's already dead. There goes the Blitzcrank as well as the Orn's starting to get amongst it. Delight has been tanking a decent amount as Pace just rockets out of there. Chovy should be able to get over this wall, though not quite enough with the Phosphorus Bomb to be able to take that one down, but he just taxis his way through, and Delight is going to be A-OK. Viper with the shield from the Trigger Seed. As Peanut getting in a little bit of trouble. Pays can't tank up the turret by himself. And it is going to be a 2-for-2 in the end, I believe.
Herald, they get a little bit more map control as well on top of that. And Harmolife, had they been a little bit faster to respond, or if Doran teleports a little bit later when they're actually closer for follow-up, I think this could have been a fantastic fight for them. And those are the kind of angles you have to fight. You have to cheat your way through these team fights in a big way, I think, at this stage in the game. And we're not able to make it work in a very confident, or rather, a very decisive way. So Gen.G are probably feeling very good about the outcome.
Well, hook onto Daisy.
That's mean.
That is so mean. It is a fair bit of money.
It's good.
For Gen.G.
It's a very good hook.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense, especially Peanut had just used it. The chain CC lands on top of him, the Ivan. Oh, they just took down his best friend, and then they cut him down as well. Oh. Another hook, and that is the Azir. The main character of Harmolife Esports is just dead, and there's no way they're fighting this one, as the dragon will go down as well. The second one for Gen.G, the first Hextech Drake of this series.
And where game number one was an extremely high-paced and kind of frantic affair, this feels like classic Gen.G, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're waiting, we're biding our time, but when we see an angle, we'll take
a team fight here. Well-deserved way to rocket. 2 items for the Azir. You have a lot of great ways to set up fights.
Oh, once again onto Peanut. The hook is going to connect onto Delight, and he's going to use that to taxi forward. The Blitzcrank, certainly not very tanky, but neither is Delight, as it turns out. Redemption to keep him alive, but it's Pace just raining frosty bullets into his backside. And Daisy will once again fall down. This is a 1-for-1 this time. Both of the supports falling down. As a teleport in from Zeka, he just wants to take as much money on this map as he can find. Yeah, there are a lot of bad guys coming, and Zeka does not have a lot of friends on the way outside of Peanut. The flash forward from Chovy. Oh, doesn't get slowed down by the volley. Good sidestep there, as now it might be Peanut going down yet again. He does get the brush for Zeka, who's trying to play it out. Pays almost falls, but it's Zeka that goes down in the end. Delight realizing there's no follow-up, there's no angle, as Lahens versus Viper. From best friends to enemies, and he is going to let him live.
He let him live. That's camaraderie right there.
It's beautiful. It's mercy.
It's over.
Yeah, Keen has started upgrading some items here as well. So those masterworks are going to keep coming in, those ornaments being constructed. As we do have a start on this one, there's a lot of terrain for that arrow to fly through, and there it is. It appears onto the cow. Doesn't even press the R button, does Delight, so that is not really what they were looking for. Humble Esports had an inkling on the play. Doran looking for a flank angle. As there's the curtain call. We have the Dominus come through as well. Going into that back lane. The Emperor's Divide is decent, but they're being cut apart. And yes, they get the Corki, but at what cost? And the answer is, yeah, everything.
They lose basically everything, and this might be the defining
the
moment.
Play to walk into Gen.G, who have the range advantage, they have the poke advantage, and they have so many ways to respond as well. As another arrow is going to fly in. This one straight between the goalposts. Not going to be able to find too much more there. As Hook going to connect onto the cow, and Delight going to need to use the Unbreakable Will this time, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough. Thankfully, the curtain call is going to be there, and that does play some interference. Chovy just happily taking these shots, though it's just not doing that much.
But now you don't have your curtain call to really defend the siege, and Chovy's wrapping around. He's starting to put those arrows, and here comes the Ornhorn.
Yep, the train is going to come on through once again. Good double knockup comes down, but the redemption is there to keep them healthy once more. It's an N for no. Do not push in. That's what those brushes were saying.
Not in terms of killing structures and killing turrets and trying to get the Tristana ahead, but you need to actually win team fights. You need to be oppressive on the map. Once you lose control, Baron goes down. Now Gen.G go, yeah, we get set up for the vision.
Possible angle here, but this is a very tanky Keen, able to walk his way through the Emperor's Divide. The Stranglethorns comes in, the rest of Gen.G, they're making their way over, but it's just not quite in time. They'll take a Consolation Daisy, but they still lose their top laner, as Lahens takes a bunch of damage here from the curtains. As the Dragon's up in 48 seconds, just not quite enough to give them an advantage. That's a little skirmish, but the arrow is up, and it's going to be thrown straight into Zeka, who's in Fog of War. There is a brush there to make sure that he is not going to be seen. Finally, they get a control ward through, but now, will it be Hextech Soul, which is probably game, or will it be a one-team fight finally for Humble Esports? Already Keen going down very, very low as Chovy trying to cut up Doran. And Doran just can't do anything. He's kind of a handbag in this one. They do manage to take down the Dragon in exchange for the Crocodile. It's a reptilian bargain, but I don't know whether it's going to work because it looks like after the deal is done, Gen.G trying to close this one out. The train does get one knockup, but not onto the priority target as Zeka in the brushes once again. He has Emperor's Divide, but he uses, Emperor's Escape instead.
They now have Cryo on the Baron.
Arrow going to sail through once again. Delight just going to McHale's, and he is going to be A-OK.
The poke, though.
That was Peanut that utilized his there. I was wondering where it came from. Delight is sitting there with a Warmox, and he can't activate that to get out of CC. It does hold on to his ultimate. That is the important part.
You gotta go. You gotta go. You have to fight, but you're cut off. You have no mid-prio.
Yep, Doran knows exactly what's going on, but what is one Croc supposed to do against this one? He presses the dominance, but Humble Esports are just a little bit too late, and that is going to be the Hextech Soul to come in. Doran is executed, and in they go. The hook is going to connect. Zeka goes golden, but that only buys a couple of extra seconds. The Emperor's Divide was by 0, I'm pretty sure, in that instance there. And now they're going to move on over towards this Baron and try to take that one down. Keen looking for a little bit more as Peanut will get knocked off the gate. And he is going to be able to take it here. But that is not going to stop.
They're doing this. I'm your big bro.
You see how much space Gen.G is just able to create consistently, right? Because there is so much CC and so much damage available. If you overstep,
Daisy!
Already,
oh, arrow once again going to be collected, but it's Peanut that's in trouble. He's isolated. Another hook! This time onto the Crocodile. The Sterix does nothing because he just can't move. And Gen.G there will be able to take down the top laner. That's going to buy them so much space. This base is just not going to last very much longer.
I mean, if you get slowed, he's going to hit that hook every time. And you have Hextech Soul.
And he's sliced to get out of the way as well, and then got hooked. There's no way you can do anything.
It's just doomed. It's just doomed in this one.
And the first inhibitor turret is going to go down. Inhibitor very short to follow. Minion waves prepared earlier here for Gen.G are now taxiing towards both flanking turrets here. And Humble Esports, is there anything? Is there any angle? The thing is, I just don't see it. I don't see what they're supposed to do in this situation. Another arrow going to be soaked by Peanut. The tree is felled once again. The cow follows suit. The pigeon's down. And Viper just has to look on in horror as his menagerie is destroyed, and the Nexus is going to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, in this grand final, it's turning into a best-of-3 as Gen.G clap back, and they clap back hard.
The series. So draft is very important in this one. I think this draft really didn't hit. Of the drafts we've seen here in Gyeongju this week from Hanwha Life, this weekend, I think this one has been by far the weakest. And I think we'll see a lot more opportunity for Hanwha Life when they have blue side. They have that first pick, and they don't have to ban the Rumble away. They don't have to ban the Ziggs on red side, leaving them with only the Nidalee ban. I think there's a lot more options for them going into game 3. This game for me...